that.
He has frequent changes of molehills into mountains, difficulty swallowing humor, and emotional constipation.
Oh.
What do we do, Doctor?
Well, the only thing we can do, Nurse Ann.
What's that?
Get the kit.
The kit. The kit. Now, is that the kit that's
The
over by...
kit, Nurse Ann!
Yes!
Hurry! Hang in there, buddy. You're gonna make it. Don't you worry about a thing.
I've got it!
All right, so first, I've got to get to know the patient.
All right, well, but there's no time for that. He's fading fast.
What? Well, I don't know the patient. Then how do I know what humor is appropriate?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to wing it.
All right.
Silly wig. Silly wig, Nurse Ann.
Security measures in the kit. Silly wig.
Red nose.
Red nose.
Balloon animal.
Balloon animal.
Balloon animal.
All right.
Come on, Nurse Ann. It's okay, buddy. Hurry up, Nurse Ann. You're all right. Hang on.
Clear!
Good job, Nurse Ann. Clowns will paid off there.
It's a cheap eye.
Yes. All right, let's try this out here.
Oh, no, he's not responding. He's not responding at all.
He doesn't like clowns at all. I'm gonna have to try something else.
All right.
You know, Nurse Ann, I've always wanted a watch that would tell me time.
Don't you have a watch that tells you time?
No, I have to look at it.
Oh, he's smiling.
You did kind of like that look. Okay. Nurse Ann, what's the difference between an oral and a rectal thermometer?
I don't know, Doctor. What?
The taste.
I don't think he likes gross humor.
I don't think anybody does.
I think he likes bad jokes.
Bad jokes?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Nurse Ann, yes? What do you get when you kiss a canary?
I don't know, Doctor. What do you get when you kiss a canary?
Chirpies.
Oh, we're smiling.
Don't you worry, buddy. It's just a canarial disease.
He's starting to laugh.
You know why? Because it's tweetable.
Oh, that's it, Doctor. You've saved his sense of humor.
No, Nurse Ann. We saved his sense of humor.
Well, let's go on and celebrate.
I have a lot of patients today that I
Oh,
need.
you can see him tomorrow.
No, I'm going to see every single person in this
No,
hall.
they can wait all night.
What? No, they
Why
can't.
else do you think they're called patients? I'll be leaving now.
We want to share with you one of our favorite stories that my daughter has grown up loving. It's by a wonderful author. Her name is Mem Fox, M-E-M-F-O-X. She's from Australia, and I just want to share her favorite one with you guys. There once was a small boy named Wilfred Gordon McDonald Partridge, and once more, he wasn't very old either. His house was next door to the old people's home, and he knew all the people that lived there. You see, he really liked Mrs. Jordan, who loved to play the organ. And he listened to Mr. Hoskins, who told him scary stories.
And he opened another door, and the only thing there was a potato.
And he played with Mr. Tippett, who was crazy about cricket.
And the ball hit the wicket, and the wicket didn't move any way whatsoever because it was a sticky wicket, as you know.
And he admired Mr. Drysdale, who had a voice like a giant.
Well, let's just go outside and get that kite out of the tree.
And he ran errands for Miss Mitchell, because she walked with a beautiful stick.
I want some vitamin D milk, and a Milky Way, and some milk and magnesia. Oh, milk.
But his favorite person of all was Miss Nancy Allison Delacourt Cooper, because she had 4 names, just as he did. He liked to call her Miss Nancy. Nancy, and he told her all his secrets. One day, Wilfred Gordon was overhearing his parents talking about Miss Nancy. Poor old thing, said his father.
Why is she a poor old thing?
Said Wilfred Gordon. Well, she's losing some of her memory, said his mother. You know, it isn't a surprise. She is 96.
What is a memory?
Asked Wilfred Gordon. He was always asking questions. Well, said his father, it's something you remember. It's something you remember. But that didn't satisfy Wilfred Gordon. So he decided to go call on his friends. And he went and found Mrs. Jordan, who loves to play the organ, and said, Mrs. Jordan, what's a memory?
Oh, that's something that keeps you warm, my child. That's something that keeps you warm.
He called on Mr. Hoskins, who liked to tell him scary stories. He said, Mr. Hoskins, what's a memory?
That's something from long ago, my lad.
Something from long ago.
Then he called on Mr. Tippett, who loved to play cricket. And he said, Mr. Tippett, what's a memory?
That's something that makes you cry, my son. That's something that makes you cry.
And he called on Miss Mitchell, who walked with a beautiful stick. Miss Mitchell, what's a memory?
Oh, that's something that makes you laugh? That's something that makes you laugh?
And he called on Mr. Drysdale with the voice of a giant. And he said, Mr. Drysdale, what's a memory?
Well, that's something more precious than gold, young man. Something more precious than gold.
So Wilfred Gordon went home again to look for some memories for Miss Nancy, because she had lost some of her own. He looked for his shoebox of shells, which he got long ago, last summer, and he picked out his biggest and most favorite shell. He put it in his basket. Then he found his puppet, which usually made people laugh, and he put that in his basket too. Then he remembered with some sadness a medal that belonged to his grandfather, and he gently placed that next to the shell. Next, he got his football, which was more precious than gold. And then, on the way to Miss Nancy's, he stopped by the hen house, and he got a warm, fresh egg. And he put that in the basket too. And then he gave Miss Nancy his basket of things. Oh, Wilfred, what an unusual basket of things, my dear.
And then Miss Nancy started to remember. She picked up the egg and told Wilfred Gordon at the time she had found a tiny speckled blue egg in a nest in her aunt's garden. She put the shell to her ear and remembered going to the beach by tram and how hot she felt in her button-up boots. She touched the medal and talked sadly of a big brother who had gone off to war, never to return. She smiled at the puppet and told Wilfred Gordon at the time she had made her sister laugh with the puppet and how her sister had a mouthful of porridge at the time. She tossed the football to Wilfred Gordon and remembered the day they met and all the secrets they told him. And the two of them smiled.
And smiled, because some of Miss Nancy's memories had been found again by a little boy who wasn't very old either.